Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Hakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elders and the brothers who are out there doing this work in sincerity. Shalom. All right, so I want to go into like the New Year's. You know, it's been heavy on my spirit that the Passover just passed. I want to say last Wednesday or last Thursday, something like that. Um, and how we brought, me and the brothers, we brought in basically, a new year and the time of the Passover and what it, signifies, as serious times. And for the most part, you didn't see a lot of people partake in that, in our ancient custom, you know. And I understand that, a lot of people, a lot of brothers are lost, but when it comes to Esau's calendar, or his New Year's Day, or they want to pop bottles and do this one's girl and smoke weed and you know pop mollies and etc. And that whatever. So let's jump right into it. Let's see where New Year's you know came from because our brothers they won't look up things. They just love to do wickedness. Anything to have a good time, right? All right, so let's go. January 1st becomes New Year's Day. The early Roman calendar consisted of 10 months and 304 days, with each new year beginning at the vernal equinox. According to the tradition, according to tradition, it was created by Romulus, the founder of Rome, in the 8th century BC. A later king, Numa Pompilius, if I'm saying that right, is credited with adding the months of Januarius, and Februarius. Over the centuries, the calendar fell out of sync with the sun, and in 46 BC, the emperor Julius Caesar decided to solve the problem by consulting with the most prominent astronomers and mathematicians of his time. He introduced the Julian calendar, which closely resembles the more modern Gregorian calendar that most countries around the world use today. As part of his reform, Caesar instituted January 1st as the first day of the year. Salakia. Where am I at? As the first day of the year, partly to honor the moon, Salakia, partly to honor the month's namesake, Janus, the Roman god of beginnings, whose two faces allowed him to look back into the past and forward into the future. That's wicked. Okay? Romans celebrated by offering sacrifices to Janus, exchanging gifts with one another. Sounds familiar? Decorating their homes with laurel branches and attending Rosh's parties. In medieval Europe, Christian leaders temporarily replaced January 1st as the first of the year with days carrying more religious significance, such as December 25th, the anniversary of Jesus' birth. And use niggas, man. But everybody's smart, right? And March 25th, the feast of an Annunciation, Pope Gregory the 13th reestablished January 1st as New Year's Day in 1582. See? So I guess I'm trying to say everybody wants to celebrate that day. But when it came time for the Passover, I ain't see brothers up. I mean, I wasn't expecting champagnes to be popped, but you know, the bitter herbs, the feast, of the unleavened bread and the lamb and etc. That wasn't you didn't hear too much. But see, that's how Jake is. They follow a multitude to do evil. And I do understand this truth is only for a certain few, which is the 144,000 and the one third. So, that so-called New Year's Day is not the beginning of the year. It is a pagan holiday. Okay? The new year comes in around spring. All right, which is what? March. Back in ancient times we followed the moon. Well, the northern tribe, of Issachar, there was the moon was the timetable people, so to speak. They were the ones who could tell when the seasons would come in, and you know the moon was and still is our timetable, and the new moon dictates when when each month is going to come in. All right, and that's the moon calendar, like I said, and that's what the Israelites followed back then. And when I say Israelites, I'm talking to you so-called blacks, Puerto Ricans, and Native Americans. All right, this is going to be a quick lesson. So let's jump right into my first precept. Deuteronomy 33 and 14. And for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon. I want to touch on that word moon. So let's go into the interliner. Okay. Go down to moon. Click on that. And that word in Hebrew is Yarakah. Let's see what it says.
Strong's H3391. Yerach.
Okay, Yerach.
Yerach.
All right. So when you go to the outline of biblical usage, it's the month, lunar cycle, moon, month, calendar month. Okay. And that's it. Just showing you that basically that moon was our calendar month, you know? But you niggas want to follow Esau, right? And celebrate his new year, which is a pagan custom, you know? Learn not the ways of the heathen, like I said. Jeremiah 10 and 2. Let's go into our next precept. Exodus 23 and 15. And I'll start at 14. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. That's the Passover. Okay. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days as I commanded thee in the time appointed of the month Abib. For in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. So I want to touch on the month of Abib. Let's go into the interliner. Go down to Abib. Click on that. And outline of biblical usage. Fresh, young, barley, heirs, barley. Month of ear forming, of greening of crops. A growing green Abib month of Exodus and Passover. March or April. So you see, that's when the ground starts opening up in March, bringing forth flowers and new grass and corn and etc. Everything's becoming new. It makes sense for the new year to be in the month of Abib. That's the start of the new year. Okay, let's go to Exodus 12 and 2. I'll start at 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. Because back then, they didn't have like January, February, or any names. It was always, this is the first month, the first day. This is the first month, the second day. The first, and etc. Okay? But it's letting you know this is the beginning of months. This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. See? But you niggas want to go ahead and celebrate January and don't even know, man. Reading on. Speak ye unto the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of the fathers, a lamb for an house. Showing you the Passover was in the month of Abib. Okay? And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him, his neighbor, next unto his house, take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. All right? Because they didn't want to waste lamb. If you had a family that was big, too big for the lamb, they would, when you're done with that lamb, you're supposed to burn it or throw it out, but basically share it. You know what I'm saying? Verse 5, your lamb shall be without blemish, and male of the first year ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day, the same month, and the whole assembly of congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. Right, you see? So that was a very serious time. It wasn't popping bottles and doing this one's wife and smoking weed and all type of shit. You know, it was a very important time, and that was the Passover, letting you know the beginning of the year. And if you know anything about the Passover, let's read it. Where was it? Where was I? Verse 7, and they shall take the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper door posts. So the reason for that was because the death angel will pass over that house. You know what I'm saying? Which was Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Okay? So it was a very serious time. All right? The Passover, that's one of our holidays, or our holy days, which is a very serious time. The Passover is a solemn assembly, meaning very, very serious. But our people, they do not consider, you know what I'm saying? Because they are sottish children, meaning stupid. Let's go to my next precept, man. Exodus 13 and 3. And I'll read 5, I think. 3 to 5. And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt out of the house of bondage. For my strength of the hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. Right. This day came ye out of the month of Abib. You see? And that's basically, the Abib, we should just keep it holy. Not in January, you know? Shit. Julius Caesar, he ordered rebellious revolutionaries and slaughtered our people on that day. You know? But niggas, man, I'm telling you, niggas, man. Let's look up the meaning of months real quick. I don't want to really read all this, but let's just read January. Janus is the Roman god of gates and doorways. Depicted with two faces looking in opposite directions, his festival month is January. It had 29 days until Julius, when it became 31 days, like I read. Okay, when he added on them days. They're always adding, taking away and adding. That's what they're just never satisfied. You know? Shit. Didn't they just, matter of fact, it's just so happened around Passover, I think Joe Biden just signed a bill, okay, on he signed on a permanent daylight savings. Man, this devil got to go. You know, last chapter or last precept, Salakia. Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. Who does that? And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and dividing of times. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy it until the end. Esau, you gotta go. So the point of this lesson was January 1st is not the beginning of the year. Around the time of the Passover, which is in March, the month of Abib, is the beginning of the year. And our people don't keep it. Shalom.